Friends, welcome to the Word on Sunday, a platform to reflect and pray with the scripture readings of every Sunday. When Saint Mother Teresa of Calcutta was living, a group of religious sisters belonging to several congregations from the United States visited Mother Teresa in Calcutta for a couple of days. As part of the visit, they had several conferences with Mother Teresa, and one day at a conference, a religious superior of one particular congregation asked Mother Teresa as to what would be the mantra, the secret, why many women show interest to join the missionaries of charity, whereas the religious congregations for women in the United States continue to suffer the lack of religious vocations, women not showing any interest to join their congregations. Mother Teresa listened to them and simply answered, "The reason why missionaries of charity, my religious congregation, continues to have many vocations is because I give them Jesus. We give them Jesus. Period." This is what happens when we give to people the most important aspect, the most important thing. We give them Jesus. On this fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, how can we become the salt of the earth and the light of the world? First reading has the answer. Prophet Isaiah says, "Share your bread with the hungry, shelter the oppressed and homeless, clothe the naked, and when you see anyone in need, do not turn your back." In other words, give them Jesus. For vocation promotion, it is said, if we truly live our lives, we don't need any vocation promotion. If we authentically live our lives, we can set the world on fire, St. Catherine of Siena says. The first reading from the book of Prophet Isaiah, we see how the exiles returned from Babylon, hoping for a quick restoration of the capital, Jerusalem. But it was frustratingly slow. People wondered why it was being prolonged. Prophet Isaiah told them it was because due to their unwillingness to share God's blessings with others, sharing bread with the hungry, clothing the naked, sheltering the homeless, leads to promoting justice and mercy. In the second reading, Paul acknowledges that his human eloquence did not help his missionary work. What helped him in his missionary journey was to learn from the self-sacrifice of Jesus, the crucified Christ. Paul communicated this quality of self-sacrifice to the intellectuals of Christ. Paul's experience teaches us that when we start doing good, when we start sharing Jesus, giving people Jesus, we truly become the salt of the earth and the light of the world, even if it costs suffering. As Mother Teresa of Calcutta told the religious superiors, we give them Jesus. I give them Jesus. In doing so, we become the salt of the earth and the light of the world. The gospel we heard from last Sunday, the Beatitudes, we continue to listen from the sequence. The Beatitudes become practical as Jesus tells us to be the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Our discipleship is authenticated in being the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Why salt? Salt gives life. It is a preservative. It is used in seasoning, for purifying, in fertilizing. In the Old Testament, it was even used for sealing the covenants. It is the symbol of wisdom. Not only its taste, but also it has other properties. Salt loses its identity when it salts something else. Its value resides in the way it acts on another substance. Its value resides in the way the salt acts on another substance. As disciples, Our worth or authenticity is gauged according to the influence we have others. We have on others as salt and light. And as the fact that Jesus tells us to be the light of the world, it is also geared towards the eschatological expectation. City built on a mountain top cannot be hidden, and as a lamp is lit in a house. Light, both internal and external. We inspire others not by our words, but by manner of living, and then declare the reign of God. We inspire others when we give them Jesus. As Mother Teresa said, we simply give them Jesus. In doing so, we become the salt of the earth and the light of the world. As St. Paul truly acknowledged, it was not his intelligence, it was not his eloquence, but what he learned from the self-sacrifice of Jesus Christ. The crucified Christ made him to give a witness to the people in Corinth. Saints are the people who let the light of Christ shine through them. And as Martin Buber says, an existential philosopher, I as a person has no meaning if there is no the other. As we celebrate this fifth Sunday in Ordinary Time, it is an opportune time for us. In this ordinary time, how can we be the salt of the earth and the light of the world in our own neighborhood, in our own vicinity, at our workplace? Do we give other people Jesus? Do we become that tasty element, the light, both internal and external? Father Praveen Lakkisetti, here at St. Pius X Catholic Church in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you and God bless.